morning. Well, this is not actually good afternoon.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the house. Not just the current mothers, but the potential mothers. Right? The mothers on the horizon, if you will. The hopeful mothers. We want to bless you. We want to honor you. So listen, y'all know now, mothers is unique in their own right? Like having a mother is one thing, but having a loving mother is another. Having a caring mother is something completely different, right? Because there are people that just birth children and, say, there you go figure it out for yourself. For real. There are some other mothers that's not too kind, not too sweet. They might not just look at you like birth you, but they beat the heck out of you. Mm-hmm. They're brutal with you, or they treat you a certain type of way. There are other mothers that might even put other individuals before the children. So God bless the mothers I'm talking about the ones that's in the trenches. That day-to-day struggle. But listen, these children crazy now.
Oh, very.
These children crazy. So listen, and for the potential mamas, start praying right now. I'm telling you, start fasting and praying. You love them to death. You do. Oh my God, it's something special being a parent. But man, it takes a special person to be a parent. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can do it. So we honor you. We honor you for being steadfast and unmovable. Cause not everybody's steadfast and unmovable in this journey of parenthood. So we want to honor you. We want to honor the Lady of Hope. We honor Lady Jade. Man, for being she's a cold-blooded mama. You understand me? I'm telling you, love cold with it. I don't know how she do it, but she do it. I talked about it last week. I be going crazy over the same stuff she be calm, but I don't know how she do it. Yeah. But God bless her heart. God bless her soul. Cause I'm the parent that's gonna click out. I'm the parent that's gonna go a little crazy. She the parent that's cool, calm, and collected. But just don't worry about it. Just walk. She gonna be like, no, she'll go a bike and just drive on the side. That's time, That she's so sweet, y'all. Now, girlie, don't get it twisted now. Lady J got a switch. That's it. She from the East now. She from the East. Yeah. So y'all watch yourself. She'll love on you and choke at the same time. Like, come here, now what you were saying? God bless her heart. We also want to honor Lady Angela Chandler. God praise for her. Lady Chandler is so sweet, so soft-spoken. At least for the time that I've been close to her. You're talking about a person that really loved the hell out of you, really loved the hell out of her children, and even me adopted into her family. So we want to honor Lady Chandler as well. And again, to each and every one of the women of hope, we want to thank you for being wonderful women, phenomenal women. Right? I see all of y'all in the trenches with y'all kid. I see Essence in the trenches with everybody else kid. So listen. Thank y'all for being who y'all are. Truly, thank you for being who you are. But as I sojourned through the text, as I had a conversation with me and the Lord, as we kind of walk through the text, in Acts, right? I'm like, so listen, now, Lord, it's Mother's Day. How can I? Come on, now don't do me like that. Now I don't, I know I'm being obedient to walking out Acts. But how do I line this? Come on now, where we going? Acts chapter 4. We still up. We still up. We ending and closing it out. Acts chapter 4, verse 32. But I want to ask you a question, right? And this is a question for you, ultimately yourself. And I mean, if you want to answer, I ain't got no problem with it here. But what is your village, right? God was talking to me, as I came to church this morning, driving from Houston. God was talking to me, right? And we had the some people over. I fed the mothers yesterday in Houston, and no, non-negotiable. Where you at? Come over. I don't want to talk. I don't care what you have planned. Come over. Some of them ain't always even in town. Come over. This is what we doing. Fed them. And I realized, right, that I am nothing without my village. Right? Like I realized that Bryson might can do this, Bryson might can do that, Bryson might say this, Bryson might say that, but Bryson is nothing without his village. Right? And whatever capacity that looks like for you, but I want to ask you a question. What is your village? Right? Because this is the reality. And we talked about it a little bit last week about the fact that we need someone to pray for us. Mm-hmm. We need someone to be there for us. Mm-hmm. Okay. For black folk, let's talk right quick. Let's talk. Black folk don't even like to talk about what they're doing. Let's be real with ourselves. There's a lot of strong black women that are suffering in silence. Just as well as there's some strong black men suffering in silence. Mm-hmm. You have women that are literally going crazy trying to be everything. Mm-hmm. Especially those that are single, that have to be mama and daddy. That have to be the loving parent and the disciplinary parent. But I want to ask you a question. What is your village? Right? When you look around, do you have someone to talk to? Do you have someone to share your burdens with you with them? Do you have someone that you can love on? Do you have someone that can love on you back? And we're not even talking about a companion to that sort. Do you have some people in your life? Now let's be honest with ourselves, because a lot of us, a lot of us Christians, we get to a point where yes, the Lord is moving, yes, the Lord is expanding us, yes, the Lord is growing us, and we find ourselves detached from everybody. Mm-hmm. I was that person though, so listen, this was my phrase, right? Oh man, I used to use it, right? I used to preach that thing, you understand me? Elevation requires separation. Mm-hmm. It sounds good too, it sounds cool. Elevation requires separation. Look, then we go this, right? LD, let me do this. Yeah, we talk about the rocket, right? The rocket goes so far up in the sky, and then at some point the rocket booster's gotta fall off. Yeah, I know what I just. But the reality is this: the pilot also need a co-pilot. That's right. I understand the rocket goes so far, and everything that boosts them to this point, once it hits a certain part of the atmosphere, the rocket boosters fall off. But the reality is this: I've personally never heard of a plane, unless you're in the military, flying the F-22, of a plane flying by itself. I've also never heard of a plane flying with just one pilot. So why do we find ourselves in our Christian walk get to a point where we want to pilot everything ourselves? You strong. I know you're strong. You ain't even got to prove to people no more that you're strong. So why you keep doing it by yourself? So in our text today, right? Because having this conversation about what is our village, right? Who are our village? Do you even have a village? So this is the reality, right? Christian folk need friends, right? Do you necessarily need friends of the world and friends in the church? I'm gonna leave that up to you and your own, you know what I'm saying, on your own accord. Cause what I don't want to say, no, you don't need no people in the world, and yet there are people that you can be accountable to, right? Man, listen. So my partner, he know of God, but he ain't in church, right? And it's to the point where I can literally be with the fellas at practice, right? Let's say, because a lot of our guys kind of do the same thing, right? We had practice, man, and they start talking about a night that they had. Oh yeah, it was down last night, but it was boom, boom, bop. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, man, my phone worked too. And my phone worked too. Hold on, come on, man, what's up with that, bro? I could have been like, they were like, no. What we was doing, it wasn't for you. The reality is, this wasn't a space that you needed to be in. And initially, as a younger person, because I've been knowing guys since 13 years old, right? In my younger day, I'm like, oh no, man, don't exclude me because of who I believe in. I don't like that. That ain't even fair. That ain't even cool. But the reality is, they understood the call, they understood the assignment, and they respected who I was. So even in them being people in the sense of the world or the secular world or not necessarily believers, they still respected where I was in my walk. So I can't tell you not to have friends outside of church. That would be hypocritical. Because I got partners I can call, we go hoop. I got partners we can call and we go ball crawfish. I got partners we can call and we can pray. I got partners we can call, we can talk about shoes, so on and so forth. I got partners every now and then I want to talk about my wife. It is what it is. That's just the reality. If I need a certain partner for us, then I got one partner that's everything. He's a one-stop shop. Whatever I need, you can talk about A to Z. We can talk about global warming to hell. That's just the reality. And listen, he don't go to nobody church. That's just the reality. He can even pray for me. I'm talking about to the highest of high, and he can still talk about it. You seen no girl, man? You understand me? Yeah. But the reality is, he's part of my village. He's part of the instrument that's keeping me focused and keeping me going. You never know how many times we just laugh. You never know how many times I cry alone. The village that we have. So in the text, right? Acts chapter 4, verse 32. And this is kind of the concept that the New Testament church took upon. Right? And I'm not telling us that this is what we need to do today, but this is what the church did. This is what the church did. In Acts chapter 4, verse 32, it says this. If you're there with me, say amen. About it, God. It says this. I'm reading from the King James Version. It says, now that the multitude of those who believe were of one heart and one soul, neither did anyone say that any of the things he possessed was his own. And they had all things in common. They came to a census, a multitude, right? We don't know how big a multitude is, but we know they are always doing things, and it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people being moved, and a lot of people being touched, and we know that they just did some miraculous things in the earth. So a multitude of people came on one accord, and what did they do? No one said that my possessions was my own. No one said that just because I bought a house, I'm going to keep my house for me. Just because I got a car, I'm going to keep my car for me. In this concept, right, there was on a barter system. And the agricultural conversation, right? When they had planted something, when it grew, they bartered, right? So to say this, if I had apples and you got oranges, and I need oranges, but I bet I got some apples for you, how many you need? The barter system, right? If I had grapes and you had corn, the reality is we can barter. I can put some X amount of grapes on the line. You can put some of them corn on the line, and we can call it an even exchange. Jesus said, anything less you keep change. That's what Jesus said. Ain't me. That's Jesus. You know. That was on a barter system. But in this particular culture, in this particular time, rather, the New Testament church said, you know what? We're going to take everything that we had, we're going to put it at the altar, and we're going to divide it even. Let's continue to read. Verse 33 says, and with great power the apostle gave witness to the resurrection of the Lord Jesus, and great grace was upon them all. Nor was there anyone among them who lacked. For all who was possessors of land or houses sold them, and bought the proceeds bought the proceeds of these things that were sold. So they sold their land if they had land. They sold their houses if they had houses, and bought all of the wealth, all of the earnings, all of the proceeds from them selling their land, from them selling their houses. And what did they do? Verse 35. And they laid them at the apostles' feet, and they distributed to each as anyone have needed. This is the reality. This particular conversation, the New Testament church said this. We're going to take everything that we earn, put it together, and we're going to disperse it how everyone has need. Okay, forgive me, y'all, if I step on your toes here or there. They said, I got 17,000 shoes, I'm going to bring it to the apostles, and apostles, you disperse it however way you desire to disperse it. They said, you know what? It makes no sense for me to have 17,000 hats. I don't need all these J's. I don't need all these heels. I don't need all these blouses. So I'm going to bring it all to the apostles. And the apostles going to meet the needs of the people. Okay. They said it doesn't matter how big my house is. I'm going to sell it. It doesn't matter. Okay. Because the reality is this. Some of these people were hardworking people. Some of these people, even to the point where they had some inheritance and received some land and received some houses and they received some monetary gifts, but they got into the perspective or the consciousness or the reality and culture to say, you know what, I'm going to sell it all and I'm going to give it to the apostles. But why? This is the reality. Why? We talk about our community, right? What is your community? Who is your community? Can you say that for me and my community, we're going to sell it all, put it together, and then divide it amongst itself? Man, so listen, like I love my partners, right? I love my partners. Because when I'm with my partners, it's to a point where he'll be like, you hungry? I'll be like, yeah, man, I ain't really got nothing on me. He was like, I ain't asked you if you had money. I asked you, was you hungry? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a little hungry. I can eat a little bit. We go to the store. Yeah. You know, I give me a bag of chips, something to drink. Right. He might go to, get good brothers, get him a 3-finger combo, you know what I'm saying, with barbecue sauce with a big old cold drink. And I walk up to the counter, my sunflower seeds, my drinks, and my cold drink. He was like, what that is? That ain't food. I'm like, well, I don't know how much money you got. I said, were you hungry? If you really hungry, there's some food you can go eat, right? Because what you got right now is a snack. Yeah. I mean, if you was hungry for a snack, cool. But the reality is, you said you were hungry. Well, I don't want to spend all your money, man. I don't know. Did I show you my bank account? I ain't give you no limit. I didn't say, listen, you only got these. I do it to my children every now and then. You got $10. Yeah. Like $10. Now you spend it well. Or when we go into the store, you're only getting chips and a drink. You're not getting chips, candy, and a honey bun and a drink. Listen, I do that. I ain't gonna lie. We gotta manage that. That's right. But the reality is, he didn't give me that restriction. I chose upon myself to say that I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, because I don't want to be greedy. You know how it is. I know how it is. I don't want to have too much. Because then you get some people like, you hungry? Like, yeah, then they go get the whole they won't get the 13-piece combo with the 3 biscuits and all. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, I'm feeding you a whole village. Like, where you going with this food? Like, I said you was hungry. That look like that's for a lot more you than right. But the reality, I'll respect the man money, the man time, the man energy. I don't know how hard he worked for his money, but the reality is, I'm gonna just get this little bit. I don't want a little bit. Right. Are you hungry? Is what he asked me. He ain't give me no restrictions. He ain't give me I had to pick certain things. He said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's go eat." I chose upon myself to say I'm gonna get this little bit. You know how it is when you're first dating. You know what I'm saying? You don't get too much. Right. If the other person paying, they paying. I'm gonna get this little bit. I might get an appetizer and an entree. I ain't gonna get a dessert though. Overdoing it. That might be over too much. But the reality is, they invite you out to eat. You should have invited me, man. It was expensive. I cost a lot. I cost a lot. If you want to be part of this village, that's how much I cost. But my friend simply said, "Are you hungry?" He's trying to meet a need. Yeah. He don't even know how hungry I am. Maybe I needed 3 pieces. Maybe I needed 13 pieces because I ain't eaten 2 weeks.
Right.
The reality is, my village said he seen a need and wanted to supply it. Okay, do you have the same? Do you have people in your life that you can say, you know what? When the chips fall where it may, okay, I seen a lot about people during Katrina, right? So my family, it's a few of us, right? It's pops, moms. We got six children in the family, right? So we all, pops is in a we call it a dog catcher, right? Y'all seen Friday? Pops had a little dog catcher. You know, that's how the truck was in. So we in the truck. My sister was at college at Southern University of Baton Rouge. So being obedient, you know, we like, let's leave. It ain't gonna be that serious, though. Let's go to the back room. We about, you know, let's go to the back room. So we go up there, boom. We sit up there in my sister's 1-bedroom apartment with now 10 to 13 people at a moment. You've seen a lot of people. You've seen a lot about people during Katrina. When you're talking about you had to share space. You know when you share the space and you gotta sleep head to foot. That type of deal. You know you gotta sleep on the same air mattress. Well, see, we weren't even on air mattresses like that. You better sleep on that floorboard. For real. Look, don't be face to face. I don't need your forehead to touch my forehead. That's crazy, right? I don't have no problem with you putting your foot in my face. But don't be forehead to forehead. That's crazy, right? We go. That's crazy. We go head to foot.
Right.
You better flip it. You better flip it. But the reality is, we find ourselves in this 1-bedroom apartment with about 10 to 13 people at a time, and we, to the point, realized if we had a community or not. You know, because the reality is, this is all we got. I don't know what's home looking like. I don't even know that there will be a home after this. We're in a place where we needed a village. What do you have? What if my sister would have been like, don't come here. Y'all can't fit here.
Yeah.
Not all y'all. I can take one or two of the siblings. Mama or daddy, y'all grown. Y'all got to figure it out. The reality is, we needed our village. And I know some of y'all can say the same about that experience because we had to depend on our village. Okay, the reality is we had to depend on our village of the city of New Orleans. We needed them. You know, whether you feel here or there about the leadership or whether they did right, that's neither here nor there. But the reality is we needed a village in a time of crisis. In a time of calamity, we needed to lean on someone else. But yet you doing it by yourself. I wonder how often we drive ourselves crazy with pain that someone else could have shouldered with us.
Yeah.
Cause the reality is, okay, and this might be a bit uncomfortable for some of us, even myself included, cause you know what your bills is. You know how much you make every 2 weeks. You ain't got it. You think you're asked to see if someone can help you out. But see, I know that's hard for some of us. It ain't gonna magically happen at times. Now, I know the Lord can do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or possibly think. But the reality is, they're knocking right now. I'm about to report a call. But you know what? They ain't no get knocked. You don't come outside, him gone. Him just gone. The reality is the phone always calling. Like they don't even stop on a Sunday. Like it's the Lord's Day. Give it a break, my guy. I mean, I ain't got it. Clearly, if I'm not answering, I ain't got it. But that's the reality. And we find ourselves in situations where we know that we don't have ends to meet. And yet we robbing Paul to pay Paul. See, y'all thought robbing Peter to pay Paul. We robbing Paul to pay Paul. Man. Crazy. It's that bad. We can't even rob Peter. Peter broke too.
Yeah.
We can't even rob Peter. But for some of us, we don't send up a flare. We don't send up no. And I get it. I understand you don't want owe nobody this and owe nobody that. But you want to owe nobody but to love them. I heard y'all. Y'all, you know y'all spiritual. Y'all read y'all Bible. You know that's what the Bible says. Oh no, man, nothing but to love them. I get it. But the reality is, your ends ain't gonna meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fall from each other. They way around the corner in another zip code, another area code. At least try to find someone that can show that, hey, look, let me borrow something to tomorrow. The reality is I can't borrow it, but I need it. I need to have it.
Yeah.
I can't give it back. I'm gonna just be honest with you. But we gotta have friends. We gotta have They built a village to the point where they can say, I need this. I need that.
Mm-hmm.
They see my need. They know my need. Here you go. Just take it. Do we have? Okay. This is a harsh reality. Is the Christian church like that today?
No.
Can we go to our brother or our sister to say, hey, I'm lacking this. Can you help me? I need that. Can you lend assistance? Without a response to, you better give it back to me.